hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the follow, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last
Okay. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. We're here at the finals games. This is the big one. This is going to be the one. This team, they're going to go down in history. Biggest game of AVG. The whole league has been building up to these moments. We're going to see who is going to be etched into the Hall of Fame of avid gaming esports. My name is Minneapolis PD. I'm joined here by my friend Complex. Complex, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Excited, ready for this matchup. We're tied 1-1 right now. We're in for hopefully a long haul here. I want to see this go down to the wire. How about you?
I'm so stoked. After last week's games, we saw both teams win one game, and they were both pretty close. I think we're gonna see 3 games today.
Yeah, based off how the last couple games did go, it did finish in that 1-1 with Rubber Ducky team taking down game 2 and Mailbox Angels taking game 1. So very interested to see how both teams have prepared in the week leading up to the rest of the series here. I mean, I would love to see maybe some sort of adaptation to draft, maybe some sort of pocket picks even come out that weren't expected in the first go around.
Yeah, for sure. I know with RDT for the last couple of games, they seem like very flexible players. Lots of very large champion pools, and seems like no matter what champion they get, they're going to succeed. And then we see Mailbox's Angels pull out quite a few interesting strats that have worked out pretty well for them. I'm curious to see if they have something else in their back pocket that they want to bust out here for the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, getting ready for this game here today. This is on patch 11.4, so the jungle nerfs are still in effect right now, and I believe this is something that is heavily impacting Mailbox's Angels playstyle, specifically Mailbox himself. Very well known for being more of a carry style jungler, but in the first go around, we saw him adapt very well using the Hecarim, getting 3 levels up, over aided in the jungle, and hard carrying the game. So
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
you can nerf the jungle, but you can't nerf Mailbox. The man's always going
absolutely.
to be able to perform.
So hopefully, we can see some more pop-off performances from him, or maybe even see the spotlight shine in another position, maybe even the top lane. Sunny Bob, known to be a very strong top laner in the league, and perform very well in their series
Mhm.
against RDT in the first 2 games here. So I'd like to see the carry performance continuing through, and like to keep seeing the top gap growing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just in these last couple of finals, we've seen Sunny Bop on tanks. But do you think he's going to be able to pull out more of a carry style top laner? Are we going to see things like maybe the Jace, the Kled, the Gangplank? Or do you think he's probably just going to be playing for his team here?
I think that there's definitely a possibility. Now, Mailbox's Angels has definitely been playing a lot of the tank tops, but in their last series against your team, OTS,
Hmm.
we did see Sunnybot play the Camille in both games.
Hmm.
So I would like to see maybe that pick him back out. So looks like the draft is now underway. Mailbox's Angels are on the blue side right now. RDT will be on red side. So first ban underway, and it is the Silas ban.
Okay.
So
Already going straight for those respect bans. Let's see if RDT is going to do the same thing. And it looks like they will. Looks like they're still going to be focusing on Mailbox with that Viego.
yeah, and seeing the Shen ban, Shen a very flexible pick for Rubber Ducky team. They
Hmm.
are known to play it in the support position and in the top lane position. Fun fact: Shinoli is traditionally a top lane main, so a lot of champs that you would traditionally see in the top lane, he has played in the support position. And seeing a Kane ban, more jungle bans, and a Nunu ban immediately following.
Hmm.
So a lot of respect coming out here.
Mailbox's Angels did leave up the Fizz in the last game. It struggled quite a bit. Fizz really took over that game. Um, Maybe if they leave it open, we can see if RDT will go for it, or maybe they just have something else completely up their sleeve.
Yeah, maybe they might have a counter pick prepared for this. Very interesting to see what they would go for. Now, I'm not a huge fan of trying to line up a mid lane counter pick when you are on blue side,
Mhm.
and looking like one of the bands did not quite go through.
Didn't
We'll
this
find out what
ban
that is
here?
here in a minute.
It is
Uh,
Udyr. It is Udyr ban. Oh
Udyr
wait,
was banned, or no, I believe Udyr's first pick
what
for
ban?
Mailbox Angels.
Yes, I'm seeing. They picked the Udyr, but that ban was supposed to be Udyr. They're gonna have to restart the pro draft here. I'm seeing it here in the custom lobby chat. Aided did mean for that to be a new deer ban.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, uh, next lock in here is a Gragas. Whether these will stick or not is to be determined. Uh, Looking like it will be a remake of Draft here. So let's go ahead and get the next draft pulled up here. I believe we will be repeating the same initial bans up to the Udyr ban, and then should be able to go underway right after that with the rest of the draft. So let's go ahead and talk about it here for a minute. With these first couple bans here, we did see the Viego and the Kane get banned away,
Hmm.
while on the other side, Mailbox Angels targeting Silas taken away from the mid lane,
Hmm.
Shen a flexible top and support, and Nunu a jungle pick. So seeing them kind of throwing bans at everywhere here,
Yeah.
whereas RDT having a lot of focus on that jungle position. How do you think that strategy is going to work for them?
So I do like how they played around some of these respect bans here. I think the new band's very interesting. That's definitely something up Mailbox's ball court there. He might be looking to play a champion that Nunu is very good against. Just looking at uh, some of their champ pool here, there's quite a few very good champions, but Nunu being the respect pick here, I'm very curious to see is why Mailbox wanted to ban that particular champion. And then on top of that, we've seen RDT, uh, same thing, 3 respect bans straight to Mailbox.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's go ahead and see what we can see for a first lock-in, and it will be the Hecarim. We're gonna
Hecarim,
see
okay.
Mailbox run it back on the Hecarim. He did play this in game one and had a very strong jungle lead over
Mhm.
Aided. This is the pick we saw him gap him on. So will we see a repeat run back, or will Aided have been able to adapt? Meanwhile, the answer to that, the Rel and the Mundo.
Shinoli. Also, this is very similar to what they just did in the previous game. And Shinoli is very strong on that rail. She turned a lot of these team fights. Mailbox Angels picking up the Alistar here.
Very, very strong support pick right now. I believe Alistar is very favorable into Rel. Alistar arguably being one of the strongest supports in the meta right now. Um, can pair with a lot of different mid laners. Oriana's one that is very strong with the Alistar, and looking like we will be seeing the Malzahar. So already there's a ton of pick potential on the
Yeah,
side of Mailbox's Angels here.
absolutely.
So very interested to see what they look to answer this with. Now we will get to see the mid lane counter pick here for Rubber Ducky team.
And they're
And
just going to
we
go with
see
the
the
Orin.
Orin.
They're going to blind pick their top laner, but he's not worried about it. He feels really confident with that Orin. And we saw his performances just last week. He can play that champion.
Absolutely. So interesting enough, no ADC lock-ins in the first three picks for both teams. Seeing a lot of priority with where they want to go with these picks. Seeing the Mundo get locked in, pretty much secured in the jungle position with the Ornn being locked in. Going to be playing in the top lane and Rel support. So all we got to see left for Rubber Ducky team is what kind of damage carries they want to go with in the mid and the ADC position.
Yeah,
And first ban from Rubber Ducky team in phase 2 will be the Cho'Gath, answered immediately by a Diana from Mailbox's Angels.
I would like to see RDT ban the Vayne here because Nikolai is a Vayne player, and they've already picked 2 very, very heavy tanks. And Mailbox Angels definitely need something to kill tanks, but they're going to leave the Vayne open. So I think we might see either a Vayne or a Kaiser come out from Mailbox here.
Very possible. Rubber Ducky team will have the first pick coming out of red side, so maybe
Maybe
they
they
want to
take
take the Vayne
Orin.
pick for themselves.
Mhm.
I agree. Vayne is very, very strong into the comp of RDT. They don't have very much engaged tools to get on top of the Vayne. It looked like they will go with the Fizz. The Diana's an interesting one. I haven't seen Edge the outplay the Diana. I think we're going to see him go with the Vladimir pick, and maybe even see like them leave a 5th pick open for ADC, or hell, maybe they might decide to go with the Vayne pick or even a Jhin or something like that. Um, you never know. And
Oh, we're going to have the
Corki,
Corki in the mid lane.
wow,
Have we seen him play Corki?
we
I don't.
have not.
Yeah. I don't. Have we seen a Corki in ABG?
Um, I'm not 100% certain. Maybe once. I know Kitaro Rise plays Corki. I don't know of any other player in the league that plays that champion. So this will be a first, definitely a first in playoffs, I believe. And we're seeing Mailbox Angels answer with the Poppy top lane, Sunny Bob's signature Poppy that is Sunny's main champion. So very, very, very exciting getting to see this come back out. And now, I mean, Mailbox Angels, they need a very strong ADC pick to round out this comp with a tanky top, tanky support. I mean, you got a Hecarim, you got a Malzahar, and the Tristana.
Tristana. Okay.
I really like this draft from Mailbox's Angels. I think
I
they
do
have
as
a
well.
very strong draft. Um, well, Rubber Ducky team decides to answer with. Now, the Jhin is no longer an option for one above, and that's one of his signature picks. Tristana being a very well-known counter into the Jhin pick, so very curious to see what he goes with here. Maybe he might go with the Kaisa pick. That would be quite strong in dealing with tanks. And the Zaya.
Zaya. I
Wow.
think I think it might work well here.
So we are seeing some very different picks here compared to game one. We're seeing the Tristana come out from Nikolai. We're seeing Sunny Bop go back to the Poppy in the top lane. And on the side of Rubber Ducky team, I mean, it looks like they've been doing their prep. Corki and Zaya, both picks that are very unexpected to see from Edge the Owl and One Above. So
Mhm.
I'm
I
very curious to see what One Above is able to do on this Zaya pick.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm wondering here. I mean, when it comes down to these team fights, who is Malzahar going to have to press R on here? He doesn't necessarily want to press R on the Mundo or the Ornn if they stick their neck out too far. because it's going to be very hard to kill those champions, and we're going to need to see Tristana get an early lead here, because if it just goes even, she might struggle to kill this Mundo in the Ornn until she gets to about 3+ items.
Absolutely. Malzahar is still very strong, though, into Xayah Corki. If you can get a flash ult engage onto them, there's still the pick potential there. They still have a very, very strong pick comp. With the Malzahar, Alistar, Hecarim, and Tristana being able to jump in and assassinate champions very easily. I mean, nobody is safe, and it's going to be very key for Rubber Ducky team to not roam around the map in unwarded areas by themselves.
And another really important thing that maybe we didn't necessarily think about in these kinds of team fights, Poppy can just get rid of their front line.
Yeah, absolutely. Poppy is a very strong pick into any kind of engage. Poppy should do a very strong job of, maybe denying the Rel from being able to push through onto the back line or try to engage through that. Even able to deny Corki's package engage if he decided to use it to jump through and go onto the back line and engage himself. That being said, though, I mean, you look at the side of Rubber Ducky team, they don't really have any clear answer to deal with tanks. They don't have, like a Leandries in their team comp that is extremely effective in burning down the other team's front line. Whereas Mailbox Angels, I mean, you got Malzahar. He is very strong at dealing with Ornn. Mundo is known to be a bit of an MR tank, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. But Rel as well. I mean, I think that Malzahar is a very strong pick in this game here. And I'm curious to see, is Rubber Ducky team going to try to get an early lead and, negate that fact? But because I think if they get to any kind of late game situation, both team comps have strong late games. I would give the edge slightly to Rubber Ducky team in the late game with the Ornn and the Xayah. But Mailbox's Angels definitely has the ability to win team fights.
Absolutely. I think just based off of the laning phase, both lanes look like, I mean, from either side, it looks like they could really go either way. There's no definitive counter here, and there's no wow, that matchup's really bad, or that person we already know is going to get fed. I think we're going to see probably 5 dragons this game. If I had to guess. Both of these teams really kind of want to go later with you've got the Dr. Mundo, you've got the Ornn, Xayah extremely well later on and just dealing with herself, and then we've got Tristana and Alistar, Poppy. They really do want to get to those later stages of the game, but Alistar early game is still nothing to be messed with.
Absolutely. Now, looking at the team comps here and knowing how Mailbox does like to play, he is notorious for giving up the first 2 or 3 dragons in exchange for invading the enemy jungle or trying to, go for ganks on the top side of map or even get Rift Herald. He's very well known for being a top side jungler and playing around Sunny. So I'm very interested to see if we're going to see that same kind of style come out here. And if so, has Rubber Ducky team prepared for this? Alrighty, guys. So we are about to go to a brief pause while the game loads. And when we get back, we will get right into the action. Alrighty, and we are back in the action here. So let's make sure we are all synced up here.
Okay, I am still at 0-0 at the moment.
Same.
Okay, I'm moving.
Alrighty.
3.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, we are good. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the action. Loading right on to Summoner's Rift. So, one thing to note, already starting out the gate, we're seeing Corki opt for the Cole in the mid lane. Now, I know that it is standard, but there's also the option for him to start with like the Dorn's Blade and go for a little bit more damage if you want to be more aggressive. Malzahar also opting to take Tear of the Goddess instead of going for Dorn's Ring. So, already seeing a little bit different than the normal beaten path that you would see.
I think both of these choices are smart in the mid lane perception, because when Malzahar hits level 6, he's just going to press R on the Corki, and maybe Mailbox will be there for a gank. Malzahar is very mana hungry. He wants to get to that 6 as fast as he can. Going for the tier and being able to answer the Corki's auto attack push, I think will allow him to get level 6 a little bit easier here.
Yeah, and one thing to note, both junglers did decide to drop a ward in this topside river. So we did see a ward get dropped in the river brush, the river pixel brush for the side of Mailbox's Angels. And we did see Aided drop one just past his own Raptors to spot for any kind of invade. So everybody's going for a little bit of a standard 5-point now. One thing to note, junglers are starting on opposite sides of the map from each other. So traditionally speaking, they will be pathing away from each other. And we should see, maybe a little bit of spiciness and ganks. Nothing too crazy over Scuttle Crabs, but we are seeing where both teams are wanting to put their priority, as they have all season.
Okay. And Mailbox's Angels should be able to figure out that Mundo did start in the top side, and maybe they learned something from last week, knowing that Mailbox is more of a top side jungler. Maybe Aided wants to make sure he gets his top side first, maybe do some other things around the map, and then when he comes back to his top side, it won't be stolen from him, it'll be spawning by the time he gets there.
Absolutely. Trying to clear, one side towards the other and efficiently clearing either gank or objective. Looking like we are seeing, a pretty even state right now. Oh, and in the bot lane, we got a little bit of action going on. Rel already going in, hitting the Earth 2. Alistar now dropped very low, trying to get away here. Meanwhile, Tristana trading back onto the Rel, dropping her just about half HP, and looking like everybody should be able to walk away. No summoner spells being burned there, but the trade slightly edging in the favor of Rubber Ducky team. Oh, and Poppy getting a little bit of trading up here topside as well, using the E, slamming Ornn into the wall, hitting the stun, and having some very strong trading going back while already having an early push advantage.
We do see that Corki was able to shove in this mid lane, so right now RDT does have a little bit of map pressure. Corki's going to be able to use this to get some vision down. Since they know Hecarim started in the bot side, that's a smart ward there. They're going to be able to know if he's going to go for the mid gank or he's going to go into Mundo's jungle here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like... Oh, and Ornn going in, getting a little bit of trading here. Oh, Poppy taking a tower shot. Poppy dangerously low in a very dangerous position here if the jungler were topside. As we know, Mundo is on bottom side Scuttle Crab, so should be able to get out of this just fine. Nothing too risky here. One thing to note, though, I do like what has been going on in this bottom lane with Nikolai and Runetato, not immediately trying to hard push the wave now. They are in a little bit of a dangerous position as Tristana does naturally at some point push the wave in.
They can sense something's up here, but it looks like it's not going to matter. They're going to go in here.
Rel missing the engage, but Alistar is getting caught out here, and first blood over to one above. Getting that first kill, Tristana trying to trade back a little bit of damage on a Rel, but all in vain, and there we go. There's the first blood. Xayah already in the driver's seat in this bottom lane. Very good job by Aided to cancel his back there and stay and be a little bit more patient. Now, Tristana got to be a little careful here. Rel trying to go for the cheesy engage, but Nikolai being a little bit too smart for that one, and Rel taking a few auto attacks on the retreat.
So I just saw some red pings down there by the bottom side Krugs for Mailbox's team. It looks like RDT has been tracking. They know exactly where he's going to be going. That's what those pings were meant for. And we saw Mailbox, he did come into the top side jungle, saw there was nothing there for him and left. They knew exactly that he was going to go right back to the bottom side. So Aided doing an amazing job keeping up with Mailbox early on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Got to be a little careful and just dodging the feathers, not getting rooted up there. So very smart. Now they're in a good position to be able to just farm this up and, play a little bit safe here. Now we are seeing mid lane was shoved out, and Malzahar did roam and get some early vision. So
Yeah, that's
spotting
gonna
out
ruin.
using, yeah, spotting
It's
out
gonna ruin any chance. Oh, sorry.
it's all good, man. Spotting out the Mundo, trying to roam top. So gonna put a halt to that play there. Meanwhile, though, in the mid lane, bit scared to push up and try to finish shoving out this wave, knowing Mundo is on the top side of the map, so he's hovering around the bottom side. Now, Mundo still pushing around this top side, wasting a bit of time.
Yeah, and Mailbox right away taking immediate advantage for that and going straight into the
Yeah.
enemy jungle. And it looks like they're onto it. They know he's going to be doing that, so they're going to look and find him right here.
Oh, here they're going in. Rel
Alistar's there to answer.
Hecarim getting dropped very low. The exhaust is burned. Going in with the flash, and they get the kill. Shinoli has slain Evil Mailbox.
But they're not done yet. They want more. Here. And this is going to be Dragon here.
Now, we did see a lot of flashes get burned there from the side of Rubber Ducky team, but it's all worth it. It is now 3-0 in their favor. They're up about 1,000 gold, and they got Dragon Prio here. So definitely not what you want to see from the side of Mailbox's Angels. Runetato already off to a little bit of a rough start, down 0-2. Tried to help his teammate out there, but getting caught on the invade is not what you want to see. And I mean, so far we're seeing amazing prep from Rubber Ducky team. They were ready for these kind of invades. They've been doing a great job tracking, and I mean, they're just rotating at the perfect time to catch them out.
And you can even see in RDT's blue side jungle, that's a lot of enemy pink wards. They didn't see him there. They knew he was there. They went and found him, and they were able to make a play happen off of it.
Absolutely. Great intuition on the side of Rubber Ducky team to be able to make these kind of plays and rotate to it. Now, Hecarim wanting to try to invade this top side, but just walking over a ward, getting spotted out again. So every attempt that he's had so far to try to invade, other than the initial attempt on the top side, has been in vain. But down here on the bottom side, we are seeing another engage. Rel going in onto Alistar.
Meanwhile, Tristana here, but she's going to be able to jump out in time.
Just barely getting out of that. Getting dropped very low, hard losing trade, but the wave is shoving into him, so they should be able to farm this up and stay somewhat safe unless they try to go for some kind of crazy engage, but Shinoli does not have flash.
They're about to see a fight happen here by the red buff.
Oh, and Mundo getting dropped very low, trying to fight over his red buff, but not going to happen. Meanwhile, Ornn does use the horn, but I mean, your jungler's already dead. There ain't nothing left there for you, bud. And there's red buff onto Zuko. Maybe not intended to take the red buff, but does go for the little bit of a trade here. Stunning him into the wall. Should be able to get this control ward. Defend his own. So that is a little bit interesting, seeing him take the red buff. I would have liked to have seen that go to the Hecarim, but a root does go down on Alistar. Runetato playing way too aggressive on it and forced to flash out to save his own life. Now, heal was burned by one above, a little bit of a wasted heal there, not really necessary need to use it. Meanwhile, though, Nikolai did use his own heal to try to save Runetato. So, I mean, you see a trade of heals, and Alistar has no flash. Now, it's not the end of the world because Alistar does have Hex Flash, but having to set up a Hex Flash play versus normal Flash play is not what you want to see. Meanwhile, though, we're seeing again down here bot side, Alistar getting caught again, 0-3 Runetato. What are you doing, man? It's all good, though. You know, you can come back into this. You know, it's nerves. It's the first game of playoffs, and right now we're seeing Rubber Ducky team doing a very good job abusing the spot lane, catching him out of position, and putting a lot of pressure down here. This is what we've seen a lot of play from Rubber Ducky team all season long, putting all this kind of pressure bot lane. I mean, setting up a camp, if you will, and, you know, maybe seeing a little bit of unpreparedness coming out of Mailbox's Angels. You know, not being quite ready for it, or, you know, just misplaying it a little bit.
Yeah. And even though despite they have 4 kills up, they have a dragon, Mailbox's Angels is not that far behind in gold. They're all individually keeping up very well in CS. In top lane, we have quite the gold lead, but even Nikolai here, he's keeping up with one above in the CS department.
And looking like they are trying to set up a gank here. Now, Mundo is, again, bottom side here, clearing his bottom side, but they will spot out the Hecarim trying to set up a gank down here in bottom side, so that'll get called off, and we're just going to see Mailbox have to go through the rest of his jungle pattern. So currently seeing a very even CS in the jungle.
Now we do see Hecarim has his ultimate, and Malzahar has his ultimate. Corki's backing right now, but let's see if they're going to try to make something happen off of that. See if Corki is going to pick up his package. He's not. He's opting out to let the package go. He wants to save it for another special day.
Yeah, and very understandable. Probably want to save it for a dragon coming up. I would maybe like to see them try to, use that, try to make a play on this top side of the map and maybe try to get the Rift Herald here. Keep accelerating the lead that they have right now. But I understand it, a lot of their leads in this bottom lane right now, so you don't want to take any kind of unnecessary risk. Meanwhile, though, bot lane is pushing again. That Tristana pick, forced to push in, and when you get behind, it's very rough. But, Nikolai is up 10 CS right now, so not the end of the world, but you are down 2 kills. Doing a good job himself of not getting caught out. Seeing a little bit of trading going over here in the mid lane. Nothing too serious, though. Should be okay, and Mundo is resetting. He was topside looking at a play up there, but nothing really available. Poppy making herself ungankable.
Okay, looks like both bottom lanes are gonna reset here. No, Mailbox is just backing up, and now that they all see that everyone's staying, they're all gonna stay.
Yeah, looking like Dragon will be up in less than a minute, so hopefully we can see, some kind of pressure going towards this this Dragon play. One very important thing to note, setting up for this play, Poppy has no teleport, so Ornn does have the TP advantage, and
and
I think
you look in the mid lane, I think we're about to see this combination going on here.
Does Hecarim go for it? This is the perfect time to do it, Hecarim. You gotta go now. And they don't go. Walked very far up. I would have liked to have seen Malzahar either use the ultimate or, flash ult and just go in on it. I think they definitely had the ability to do it, but we are getting a gank down here. Bottom side, Rel using the ultimate. Alistar getting caught out again, trying to just pull him away to keep the Tristana alive, trying to dance around. Meanwhile, Hecarim is down here on the counter gank, and they will be able to survive for another day. Alistar using the ultimate, doing a very good job of distancing himself from the damage and being able to just kite it out and wait for backup to arrive. Meanwhile, now they do kind of have pressure over this dragon with the Rel ultimate being down. So
Corki's on his way with the package.
Corki is on his way. Ornn still has TP advantage. Top side of the map, Zuko is pushing in this wave, trying to do it the fastest he can. And we are seeing the dragon already getting started up a little bit by Malzahar. Nobody really committing to it just yet. Rubber Ducky team, though, does have the advantage now.
Yeah, it looks like trading down your top side. Give it away.
Yeah, and I mean, if you don't got teleport advantage, you're kind of forced to. Otherwise, you're going to be forcing yourself into a 4v5 fight unless you can get a pick. And yeah, looking like Hecarim's just going to have to give this up. Corki doing a very good job of zoning him out, clearing out a little bit of vision, and I mean, there's Dragon. So
well executed on the side of RDT.
Absolutely. Now, if you're the side of Mailbox's Angels, what do you think they need to do right now to get some control back in this game?
Man, it's kind of hard to say. I think the big thing right now is the way they've been winning thus far is just purely in their solo play. Even though we've seen the gold discrepancy go farther into RDT's favor, if nothing's going on, Mailbox's Angels has been pulling back this gold lead. And they know with the Tristana scaling, they have a good chance of just winning this game if it goes too late. So I think they're trying to play a little slow, especially since we don't see Mailbox with a huge lead. He can't necessarily take over the game the way he wants to.
Yeah, and looking like we're seeing a lot of pings coming out. Looking like they are trying to set up around this Rift Herald here. Rubber Ducky team doing a very good job just trying to, take control of all the objectives on board, but looking like they are going to back off of this Rift Herald play here. I would have liked to have seen them try to commit for it, but I guess if you don't know where Alistar is, it's a little bit risky. Meanwhile, though, bottom side of the map, Nikolai getting dropped very low, just below half HP. One above, very, very strong right now. Could have even possibly looked to try to go for a kill using Gale Force and maybe even ultimate with Flash. Maybe trade some summoners there. I think it would only be to your benefit. Meanwhile, though, bottom side looking like they are trying to get a little bit more damage here on the Alistar. Start getting dropped very low. Some trading going back here now. Nikolai just having to jump out, getting dropped very low, and we are seeing full control in the bottom lane right now on the side of Rubber Ducky team. One above doing a very good job putting down a ton of damage and abusing that lead. Meanwhile, because of the bot lane gap right now, Aided is actually invading onto Mailbox, clearing his bottom side. On the other side of the map, though, Mailbox is starting up Rift Herald and doing that with the Malzahar.
It looks like they're going to go for something down here in the bot lane. Corki's on his way down.
Dive. Alistar, is he going to get caught out again? Uses the flash to get back under tower. Mundo did pop the ultimate now. They are going in for it, and Alistar popping his own ultimate, but not enough, and will go down. Mundo just barely making it out alive. Meanwhile, though, trading that one kill on the 0-3 now, 0-4 Alistar. or Rift Turtle on the top side. So, you got to question where the priority is.
Poppy is down here. She wants to make sure something happens. She doesn't want to waste her time for it. But they see...
and Rel trying to go in on Tristana.
Bring the top, and here comes the TP from Malzahar.
TP coming in. Another TP coming in from the other top laner. Another TP coming in from Corky. We're seeing a huge fight break out here. Meanwhile, though, Poppy has a huge stun onto Shinoli. Knocks him into the wall. Getting a double kill here. Oh no, Ornn going in, hits the huge knockup on the Poppy. Poppy just trying to make it out right now. And Malzahar doing a ton of damage on the back end of this fight. Xayah now forced to run away using the ultimate. Tristana with a huge flash of Dr. Feathers going in. Nick is going huge. One more kill, he's got the reset, and that is a huge play. That is exactly what you need on the side of Mailbox Angels. They will not be able to drop the Rift Herald.
Oh man, that just turned around so quickly for them.
Wow, and what was looking like a very decisive fight on the side of Rubber Ducky team very quickly turns and is now a 2-0 Malzahar and a 1-0 Nikolai on the Tristana. Very, very big turn of events there, and that is exactly what you need if you're Mailbox's Angels. Using the Rift Herald properly, getting the tower off of that play. I mean, they're up roughly 1,500 gold now off that.
Yep. We're at 1,500 gold, and now we see Nikolai has pulled ahead about 500 gold on one above.
So we're seeing a pretty big difference here now, seeing where the gold is across the board on the teams here. And I mean, you look at the top lane, there's a 1,300 gold gap right now. Zuko is doing a fantastic job against Half a Night right now on the signature Poppy pick. So, we're seeing the comfort come out, and, Half a Night's just kind of trying to do his best to hold his own, but at the end of the day, I mean, you still got to be able to keep up in the CS, and right now we're seeing Poppy doing a very good job controlling this top side of the map. Now, Dragon is up in less than a minute here. Alrighty, we're seeing a lot of people starting to position around here. Corky is going to be taking a reset before Dragon. Meanwhile, though, Hecarim is on the top side of the map, clearing his top side. Probably going to try to clear top towards bot lane here. I would like to see Hecarim already start pathing over this way, because, I mean, if you don't get there sooner rather than later, you're going to give up a lot of setup around this Dragon Pit. However, you do have the teleport advantage now in top lane because of the last play. Zuko has TP, Ornn does not.
We are going to have all the big ultimates up from each team for this fight. It looks like we have Half a Night. He's just going to come down. He's going to let Poppy have the top lane. Even though she has the TP advantage, they want this dragon.
Absolutely. Very important thing to note. There are no flashes available for either team except on the Corky. Shinoli does have flash coming up, though. Might try to use it to make some sort of play. Meanwhile, though, mid lane, a lot of damage going down here. Malzahar does lose spell shield using the ultimate, though.
Here on the Shinoli.
Right on the Shinoli. Shinoli getting caught out. Ornhorn's coming in now. Everybody's going in. Hecarim using the ultimate. And, oh my goodness, one above popping off, doing a ton of damage, though, on the back end of this fight. Tristana trying to get out now. This is a lost fight for Mailbox Angels. You got to get out of here. Mundo, though, chases down Tristana. Last man standing is the Alistar, trying to make it out, but will not be able to. There is an ace. And, oh my goodness, one above is 5-1 right now.
Yep, and just as easily as Mailbox was able to get that lead back, they're going to lose it right here. It looks like Rubber Ducky team might be able to get, they're gonna be able to get this tower for sure, and they're gonna get the dragon. We've got all the gold going back towards one above. Now one above is almost 1,000 gold in the lead.
Wow, this is a very insane turn of events. What looked like Nikolai, closing that gap and giving himself a little bit of a lead off of the botched bottom lane play, quickly gets turned around right at this dragon fight. And we're seeing Rubber Ducky team, even though they make, some of these small mistakes, they're able to bounce back from it. They don't let them get them down. And, I mean, we're just seeing excellent performance right now on the side of Rubber Ducky team.
Yeah, absolutely. If Mailbox wants to get back into this game, Malzahar is going to have to ult someone pretty important, and we're going to need Nikolai to go ahead and finish another item. We're going to be fighting for Soul here in about 4 minutes.
Yeah, and looking at the gold difference right now across the teams, it is about a 2k gold lead now in favor of Rubber Ducky team. So a very big swing of about 3.5k gold, and that's what you want to see if you're Rubber Ducky team. If you're Mailbox Angels, I mean, at this point in the game, you either got to get some sort of pick or you got to focus on scaling, but I mean, you kind of get outscaled, especially against a 5-1 Xayah. So, I mean, you got to wonder what they got to do to make a play here. However, they looking like are going to try to go in on the Rel here. Rel just being able to get away there. Nobody quite in range to kind of do any kind of hard CC, just taking a little bit of chunk damage. Meanwhile, the Corky does shove out the mid lane, so somebody's got to go back to answer that, and they're going to have to give up on this kind of play up here topside.
Yeah. It seems like Mailbox Angels looks a little bit lost. They wanted to do something topside, lingered around for maybe just a little bit too long. They weren't going to be able to accomplish anything, but they don't really know what the next objective is. It took them quite a little bit of the time to decide that, okay, well, we need to abandon this play.
Oh, and Malzahar might get a little bit caught out here, and looks like he will not. Just does a good little chunk damage onto the Rel. Meanwhile, though, bottom side here, we are seeing Poppy and Orin did lane swap, and they're duking it out here in the bottom lane right now. Seeing two tanks trying to beat the hell out of each other, but nobody really doing any damage to the other. That's what you love to see, the big boys fighting. Now, meanwhile, here in the mid lane, we are seeing Tristana match the Corky right now. So Malzahar splitting top, and we are seeing the bot lane of Mailbox's Angels match the Corky in the mid.
Corky does have 3 levels on Tristana. She has to be careful about how far she walks up.
Yeah, absolutely. And likewise in the top lane, we're seeing Bandito 2 levels up on one above. One above's got to be very careful. You could get popped. Meanwhile, though, on the bottom side of the map here, Poppy and Orn are duking it out now. Now they're actually hurting each other, pulling out the big boy guns. Using the ultimate. Doesn't hit the stun in the wall. Half a Night gets the solo kill. And Zuko had control in this top lane. Now rotating to the bottom lane, had control and was dominating as Half a Night, but Half a Night says, oh hell no, I am the better top laner, and just smacks him down. Uses the horn, and he tries to push him into the wall to stop it, but was a little too far out of range. Very unfortunate, and Half a Night getting that solo kill.
I do want to point out, Mailbox has been in this bush for a while. Right now, RDT does not know he's there. They're baiting out a fight.
The fight's breaking out. Alistar goes in onto Xayah. Xayah getting caught out here. Rel getting... Oh no, here we are seeing it going in. Going in on Xayah. Xayah's caught out. Meanwhile, on the backside of the fight, though, LP Bandito goes down. Nikolai's down. They have no damage carries left alive. Hekrum's last one standing, trying to fight for himself. Alistar now trying to run away. Oh no, and what looked like a really good fight, they were able to get onto the back line and pick him off. Alistar, last one standing, very, very low, and looking like this should be just a free Baron now.
Yeah, and because of that Battle of the Titans we saw in the bot lane, Orn was able to solo kill the Poppy. When Poppy was dead, Orn TP's top, and now that becomes a 5v4. Poppy can't respond, she's dead.
Wow, and I mean, that's not what you want to see if you're Mailbox's Angels. You got to question the decision making. I mean, they just keep trying to take team fight after team fight after team fight. However, looking like they're going to try to stop this Baron play. Mundo is quite low, but should be able to just get out of this. However, Poppy and Malzahar both did teleport in, and looking like they are catching Corky. Corky just jumps over the wall using the last of his mana to try to get away. Meanwhile, Orn and Mundo are trying to run away through the top side of the map here, getting chased down, but Malzahar and Poppy don't really have any kind of chase tools, and we should see them get away. However, Mundo's looking like he will be getting tower dive. Malzahar using the ultimate. Mundo gets dropped very low and does go down. Tower ends up actually killing the Malzahar, and looking like they do get the kill on a Half a Night. Meanwhile, though, into this fight, we're seeing the cavalry come in. The package gets used, and there's Mailbox going down. Meanwhile, though, one above does also get the kill on Alistar. Only Tristana and Zuko left alive, trying to get away. Poppy resetting in the topside jungle, and Tristana having to run away through the lane, and we're seeing a Baroned up 3-man push on this top tower. They could probably get 2 towers off of this.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what they're going to be looking for here as well.
Wow, and Dragon is spawning up now, so looking like they will be able to get these 2 towers if they want to, then be able to reset and go towards this Dragon, or hey, they could even say screw it, we can just take a reset now, and looking like that's not what they're going to do. They have the pressure, they can zone Tristana away. Can't really step up, and look like they will drop it down to about half HP, and then we'll look to take their reset here. So now, important thing to note, this is Mailbox's Angels' time to shine right here. Now, they are down a lot here, but they haven't reset since, you know, the Baron play running back out there. You know, they used a lot to try to clean that up. Now, they do have their ultimates back up, but summoner spell-wise, I mean, Xayah has no flash. Rel has no flash, Mundo has no flash, so they have to be very careful of their positioning here, because one mistake can turn this fight and give the advantage over to Mailbox Angels. Now they do have the Dragon advantage right now, and looking like they are going to see the fight go in. Malzahar using the ultimate, Mundo just barely getting out of that with his life. Meanwhile, there's Xayah doing a ton of damage, hitting the feathers through everybody. Tristana does end up getting the kill though onto Shinoli, and Dragon does get slain. Hekrum does end up denying the Dragon, so Xayah now trying to get some kills over here on the back end of this fight, and looking like they will trade the dragon for 3 members. The dragon and a kill, rather, for 3 members. So, I mean, it's not the best trade, but, I mean,
No.
denying Dragon Soul is a huge deal.
It is a huge deal. But RDT still has Baron buff. They can answer to these 3 kills and still pull up some more from it. I did notice Mailbox, I mean, they all raced straight there, and they went for a zone, but because they didn't have Tristana there immediately, doing the dragon was really slow. Evil Mailbox wasn't really able to get into the fight there until it was already over.
Yeah, and very unfortunate, but, I mean, hey, Mailbox was able to actually get the dragon
Yeah.
here, so very important to note.
That is very important.
They do delay Mountain Soul, which would be extremely powerful for the side of Rubber Ducky team, having such a powerful front line, and just being able to protect their carries with that little bit of extra shield. However, Hecarim here is using Ghost, going on to Xayah. Xayah's actually caught out here, has no flash, and Hecarim doing a ton of damage here. Xayah trying to kite, cannot. Hecarim ends up getting the solo kill. Meanwhile, though, the rest of the cavalry does show up. Relp going in, using the ultimate, locking down Tristana. Tristana is exhausted. Corki going in for the kill. Corki gets the kill onto Tristana on the other side of the fight. The tanks are fighting it out, duking it out. Alistar goes down, gets slain by Half a Knight. Now Poppy trying to run away, trying to get out of here. Has no ultimate, try to save himself. Ornn using the horn and getting the kill on a Poppy. And Hecarim and Malzahar are forced to just get out of here. And what was a nice, solo pick onto the Xayah ends up losing yourself, your top laner and your bot lane. So, we're seeing Alistar right now sitting at 0-8, getting caught out a lot, not really that tanky right now.
Mailbox's Angels, they might be feeling a little desperate here. They feel like they need to be more proactive. They know the game it's coming down to the wire. It could be over at any moment, so they're trying their hardest to find picks, even if it's forced.
Yeah, and what better thing can you ask for on a Friday night than a banger of a series so far? Already coming out slapping right now. Rubber Ducky team right now in the driver's seat, up about 6.5k gold. They have 3 dragons to 1, 23 kills to 11, 4 towers to 1. I mean, it's their game to lose.
I mean, this has been a very action-packed game. We're at 34 kills at 26 minutes. There's been a lot of blood happening around this map.
Absolutely. Now, if you're on the side of Mailbox Angels, like, what can you do to try to get back into this game? I mean, obviously you got to keep your mental straight, but like macro-wise, what do you think they need to do?
At this point, I think they need to funnel gold on Tristana. Even when we see Runetato down here kind of escorting Trist, I think his best thing to do is actually make sure Tristana has vision around wherever she is, and let her get the solo XP. Where they're going to be able to pull this game apart is getting items on this Tristana, getting Tristana to that level 18 as fast as possible so she has that range advantage.
Now we are seeing Rubber Ducky team is sieging this top tower right now, forcing the Poppy off the tower, not really able to defend though. Meanwhile on the bottom half, Ornn forced to flash out. Nikolai's going for the solo kill right now, trying to chase him down. Alistar a little bit out of range though. However, on the top side of the map, Rubber Ducky team's going in. They're trying to force this topside siege down. Nikolai, you got it back, man. You can't keep sieging this, dude. You're going to lose your whole top side unless they can hold, but looking like they are trying to go for this. They don't have a minion wave, though, to keep hitting this tower, and looking like they do just enough to kind of hold it off. Malzahar's very strong wave clear, so very surprised to see Rubber Ducky team not try to force that down with, maybe trying to use the Ornn Horn or something like that. However, they do set up a bush bait, and they get the kill on the Mailbox. Mailbox gets caught out. Malzahar forced to flash out to dodge the Rel ultimate, and they're going in. Poppy's in a dangerous position now, dropped about half HP, forced to flash back into base. Meanwhile, though, on the bottom side of the map, Tristana and Alistar are still sieging on this bottom side. They got the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane, and they are trying to knock on this inhibitor tower, looking like they will be backing off, though, to take a reset. Now, Rubber Ducky team, they're going straight to Baron.
I think this might have been the right call from Mailbox's Angels, allowing this Tristana to just keep split pushing, allowing her to get as much gold, as much EXP as possible, and then just holding off the top lane. And then where they went wrong, though, was getting caught exploring their jungle. They knew Baron was going to come up. They wanted to get vision in that area, but there was a very good chance Rubber Ducky team could have still been there.
Absolutely, and there's the dragon slain. Xayah getting the last hit on it. Nice job smiting it, aided. Now we do see dragon coming up here on the bottom side of the map. This is the 5th dragon. This is the one you were talking about. You said this game would go to 5 dragons, and look at this. Yes, it has. Who's going to be the one to get it? Oh, Poppy trying to go for a little bit of pick on the Corki, though, doing a little bit of chunk damage, doesn't quite land the stun. However, everybody else does hop over and trying to get onto Poppy. Hecarim's already started up this dragon, and they already got it. Rubber Ducky team too slow.
They had Tristana this time around. They were able to burn down the objective as opposed to last time. You know, now that all 5 of them were there, ready to go. They were there quicker to the punch than RDT was.
Absolutely, and look like Corki does use the package to get back to mid lane, probably was expiring, so very unfortunate. Had the package, wasn't really able to use it in the... And I mean, you look at the gold difference right now, and it's a pretty large gold difference, but if you look at the individual gold, I mean, each player is roughly within 1,000 gold of their counterpart, so, you know, while it is a sizable amount of gold, there's not really one significant lead on anybody, but Malzahar getting caught out, gets hit by the Ornhorn. They're trying to go for the kill, but he's invisible on the other side of the wall to them, and does end up managing to get out with his life, just barely. The RCG in this mid tower, Poppy using the ultimate, does push Mundo away, sending him flying with the Ornn. Not able to quite get the tower just yet, but maybe on the next wave.
I would like to point out, Tristana did finish her Infinity Edge right now. That's a 3-item Tristana, so she's definitely going to be hurting.
Absolutely, looking at the item differences right now, we're seeing both ADCs at 3 items right now. This probably right here is the make or break fight of the game. If Mailbox Angels is able to win this fight, they can come back into this game, but if they lose, it will be GG.
Oh,
and look at like
Hecarim
going in, using the ultimate, hits a huge ultimate onto 3 people, 4 people, and look like everybody's going in. Tristana doing a ton of damage on the back end of this fight, but so is Azaya. Malzahar using the ultimate onto the Rel, not able to finish up the kill. However, Poppy going back in onto the Rel, not quite able to get the kill. Ton of damage going down. It is 2v4 right now. Malzahar and Tristana, last 2 people standing, trying to do something here. Tristana goes in with the flash,
she goes down.
The kill. Gets the kill, but goes down. Malzahar getting the last tick of it with the burn damage. Malzahar last man standing, trying to defend against 3 people right now. But this is Azaya with a very beefy front line. Despite their health bars being low, they can just walk up and do a whole hell of a lot of tanking to set up the Zaya, and looking like they will just take that top inhibitor and will maybe try to reset, maybe try to go for this mid lane inhib, and looking like they're just going to take their reset with everybody else respawning up, making the smart choice here, paying attention to death timers.
Playing it slow, that's the best thing they can do right now. They know they're in the driver's seat right now, so they don't want to mess it up. And when we saw in that last fight there, we saw Tristana hammering away at those tanks, but she's just not quite there yet. I mean, that's a lot of armor on the side of RDT. She's going to need to get some form of item to help deal with those tanks, aside from just raw damage and crit.
Yeah, now, very important to note, Nick opted to go for Phantom Dancer 3rd item. I personally would have liked to have seen him maybe pick up an Executioner's at some point, and maybe try to go for a Lord Dominic's Regard. You know, try to go for something along those lines. I don't think that Phantom Dancer is the best 3rd item for this game. I mean, you haven't really had a need for the speed. You haven't had a need for the ghosting passive or even the attack speed. What you've really needed is an ability to shred through the tanks, like you mentioned, and an ability to cut into the healing of Aided. I mean, Aided is healing like crazy with the Mundo ultimate, and if you can't burn him down quickly when he pops that ultimate, I mean, you're going to be at a loss of frontline here. Your frontline's going to die a lot faster, so very important to do.
Even Malzahar, at least in Oblivion, or something to deal with that healing.
Absolutely, you really need to get some sort of AoE health cut, especially with Corki going for the shield bow build, which I do believe is the meta build, since Manamune is not the strongest item to rush. Shield bow just being probably the strongest mythic right now on Corki. And looking like he does opt for that. So he does have the Immortal Shield. He also has a Mercurial Scimitar. Important thing to note, One Above doesn't have a QSS. He has no way to deal with getting ulted by Malzahar. Now, I don't recall if there's been a situation where he's ever actually been caught out, so good positioning from him, but, you know, if that happens one time in a fight, you know, it could be game-changing.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, looking like Nick decided to item in for a BF sword going into his 4th item. I'm curious as to what he's going to turn that into to help get through this Ornn in the Mundo.
Yeah, I don't believe BF sword will transition into
but we have Bandito making a very aggressive TP out here in the bot lane.
Oh, Malzahar coming in, Poppy coming in, but another TP coming in from the Corki, and looking like they're just gonna have to take those TPs and run after seeing the Corki spotted out, and Poppy using the ultimate, sending Ornn away. And looking like we're seeing a lot of pings right now. Rubber Ducky team really wants to go in on this play. They do have Superman who's pushing the top wave, so it only helps them out.
Here we go.
Heckram going in with a huge ultimate on the front line,
Oh,
but Zaya
Nick,
doesn't get caught by
very
it.
aggressive.
Oh my goodness. And we are seeing Corky going in with the package, doing a ton of damage. Nick gets dropped. The Tristana is down. Your 80 carry is down. Poppy now ends up going down. Triple kill on the Edge, the Owl, on the Corky. Zaya gets the kill on the Alistar. Last man standing is Malzahar. And we're seeing TPs into the fountain. Oh no, Ornn's going for the end. They're trying to end this game here and now, not even caring about the dragon. However, Mundo does stick around to take it. Ornn is hammering these things down. Malzahar should be able to defend him by himself, but once the rest of the team shows up, you won't be able to, my man. And this could be game.
They're still playing it really slow. You see RDT in the bot lane, they're not going straight for the Nexus. They're still going for towers. Oh, looks like they changed their mind. Nope, they're going to play it slow. They're going to go for every objective. They're going to win it tutorial style.
Yeah, very interesting to see them opt for that. With how long the death timers were, I would have liked them to have just taken more towers and dragon and just go for it. However, Heckram's going in for the kill. He's greeting for the kill onto Ornn, and hopefully he can get out with his life here, and looking like he should be able to. They might actually try to turn this fight here, looking like they're going in onto the Rel. Rel's getting dropped very low, actually, trying to get out of this, but the burn is just so strong. Heckram's going in, gets exhausted. Rel delaying as long as possible, using the ultimate. Mailbox has now gotten 2 kills here on the turnaround here. Now sitting at 4 and 7, so very good turn of events. That's 2 people down, and they could even look to try to take Baron here, but they got to be careful. They have an open Nexus.
Yeah, Mailbox knows they have to do something with what they just caught right there. They're not going to get that opportunity again before the next team fight. But it looks like RDT says, okay, you can have it. We're going to go down mid lane.
Yeah, and looking like they do need to either reset or they need to take this thing fast because they're pushing. Oh, they're backing off the push. What are they doing? Rubber Ducky team, they're at a loss for words. They don't know what they should be doing. Looking like they are trying to position to go for this Baron steal maybe. But Tristana's here. They don't win this fight. And Edge the Owl already getting the kill onto Alistar. Heckram does secure the Baron, ults over the wall. Zaya gets the kill onto Tristana though. Tristana got nuked in that fight. Malzahar's getting caught out, trying to reset, gets spotted. Zaya gets the kill. Oh my goodness, and this could be game.
He didn't realize he was backing on a ward there.
Oh no, and that's not what you want to see. And, you know, they clawed their way and they try to fight back into it the best they can. 2 people left standing. They do still have Baron buff, but it is an open Nexus trying to defend against 5 people. Not what you want to see. Heckram does use the E on a Corky, and all it does is knock off the shield. Poppy gets dropped very low. Oh, hits the stun though. Zaya could die here. Zaya dropped very low, but oh no! Mailbox ends up getting dropped here. Zaya barely still alive. Walking around, just hanging out in the back line right now. Poppy trying to still defend until teammates can come up. Runetato's up and looking like the game is over.
Yep, and we
so
froze. You know what that means.
Fortunately, we don't get to see the Nexus fall, but, you know, that's just how it goes when you got spectator cam. So, unfortunate results for Mailbox's Angels, and congrats to Rubber Ducky team. You know, picking up game 3, you know, they only need 1 more series with a win. So, wow, very impressive.
Very impressive. RDT played that very well all around the map. Okay.
Alrighty, guys. So that is going to do it for game 3 here. We are going to go to a brief break as the players get, you know, rested up and get ready for game 4.
Stay tuned.
Awake to my
They do ult in behind the Zyra. Meanwhile, teleport is coming out from Victor. Kaisa flying in with the ultimate. Hecarim using his ultimate now, going in onto the back line. Zyra barely getting out of this, very low. Victor doing a ton of damage. Just going after him, running them down. This Victor is massive right now. Onto Morgana Ezreal. Meanwhile, Hecarim is here on the counter gank, going in onto Jhin. Sack drop very low, forcing his passive. Meanwhile, Jhin does end up going down. Hecarim looking for the double kill, does end up getting it.
Misfortune stays alive.
Oh, that was such a good misfortune.
Oh my
Bruce.
gosh, the bloodbath. Protobell, he just basically moved it to the back line. They're jumping everything on Ornn right now, though. Ooh, hey.
Found you.
That was a really good cue to land it and get the grab it on proc.
And that's gonna be Inferno 92 getting the kill.
Here comes the freaking bug. Everyone is so freaking low. Oh my god, and just an absolute wipe.
Is he? No! Jacob's gonna be able to get the kill here, and the Misfortune's caught out of position. Here comes the Samir ultimate. That's a double kill. Oh my god!
Yasuo hits the tornado and gets the onto Ezreal.
Rexing stole the dragon! That's gonna be Ocean Soul going over to on the spot, and the Wukong is gonna get the shutdown. Wukong survives!
Wow!
Are you kidding me? That's gonna be a flashover. That's game!
Alrighty, and we are back in the action. So, had a very spicy game one. Rubber Ducky team game three rather. Rubber Ducky team, pulling out very strong. We did see a little bit of life come from Mailbox's Angels though. So maybe we can, see them learn something from this and bring it back.
So going into game 4 here, do you think they're going to switch up the bans? I feel like they need to stick with the same respect picks, but maybe just change around some of their picks. What kind of things are you expecting going into this game 4?
So I think for Mailbox's Angels, their draft definitely could have worked. I think a lot of it came down to execution. I think Mailbox got shut down very hard. I think that he wasn't really enabled to do a whole lot there. Like, he was spotted out every attempt he had trying to go for invade. So I think Mailbox is going to have to rely on his ganking power to be able to build any kind of lead. Now, likewise, in the bottom lane, we got to see them play, a little bit safer, show a little bit more respect. After Aided put on a very big camp, I would love to see them kind of bounce back from that. Now, jumping into the draft, we are seeing it already coming right out of the works. Rubber Ducky team going immediately with the Viego ban, showing a lot of respect to Mailbox still.
Still showing some more respect here. I think we're going to see pretty much the same bans from RDT here. I'm curious as to see if they're still going to ban the Udyr. That's not a champion we've seen Mailbox on quite a bit, but it could have been something he's been practicing. I would like to see a Hecarim ban here. I feel like he's a little bit better, but Mailbox Angel's actually going to take away the Udyr, so we might see a Hecarim ban here. Maybe even Kha'Zix.
Yeah, just possibly. So sticking with the Shen ban, but yeah, like you said, they're gonna go ahead and ban the Udyr for themselves this time around. And
There's the
RDT
Hecarim ban.
looking at that Hecarim ban, so a little bit surprising, you know, kind of baited themselves. Maybe they don't want to give the first pick power to Rubber Ducky team, putting a lot of priority on the Udyr and the Rel ban. This is what I wanted to see. Mailbox
should-
Angels targeting that support ban.
And just so far in the RDT MA series that we've seen thus far, Shinoli has been doing extremely well on that Rel. And we know Mailbox Angel's been practicing some other things. Oh, but even though the Rel's taken away, RDT is going to pick up the Leona here. Definitely looking to make some plays here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do know this, that Shinoli's go-to is the Shen. His fallback's the Rel. I think Rel is kind of taken over Shen in that regard. Leona is his third best option, though. And
And then we
immediately being
see
entered, Senacho.
Senna and Shogath. I don't know if I agree so much with the Senna into the Leona. I mean, it could work staying outside of range, but Senna doesn't really move around too much. It could be easy to lock down that champion.
That is true, but remember, this could also be a Senna support, or even a starving Senna build path where Rune Tato could go something like a Tom Kench and get the majority of the CS, while Senna would start with, I believe it is the Spectral Sickle. Not 100% sure on the name on that one. And seeing RDT running it back with the Ornn. Gonna go ahead and bring that one back. It did look very good in the first game of this series, picking it back up. You know, the Ornn did get that solo kill on Poppy.
Yeah, he has had a very successful Ornn these last couple of games. I'm not surprised, and they're going back with the Dr. Mundo. Mailbox Angels. I hope they learned from last game that they need a better way to kill these tanks.
And
When I see
we
the
are
Vel'Koz
seeing
coming in, that's going to be a good pick here.
we're seeing LP Bandito on his signature Vel'Koz pick. Now, I really want to see them opt for a Silas ban here for their final ban, and
Oh, 100%.
force like the Vladimir, force a Corki, something like that. This is LP Bandito's time to shine. The last time I saw him have this pick in a match, he solo carried the game, and I believe that was while he was with RDT. So it is a very strong pick in his repertoire. He is known as being the resident Vel'Koz main of AVG, and I would love to see what he's able to do with this. Now, coming out with our next two bans here, the Fizz ban, running it back, very smart ban. It is a strong pick into Vel'Koz, and RDT going with the
Silas.
Kha'Zix.
Okay. Yeah, we saw that ban. I disagree with the Kha'Zix pick. I don't think Kha'Zix is going to be good into this team comp here. What I want to see from Mailbox, I want to see him pull out something like the maybe even the Talia or the Olaf, something that's going to be able to handle these tanks. They don't necessarily have to go in on him. And last game it didn't necessarily work out so well, but if he can go toe to toe with a heavy front line, I think that might be in the best interest for Mailbox Angels here. Let me see what the last ban is here. We're gonna have the Alistar.
Alistar being taken off the board, so not wanting to give Rune Tato that Alistar. Now, it didn't look the strongest in Game 3 here, but, I mean, that being said, if with just a little bit better execution can be pulled out very well, and seeing the Nautilus get locked in. Senna Nautilus has a lot of very good synergy, and you have a crazy amount of engaged potential for ganks. So they're going to have to play very safe in the bot lane, whatever Rubber Ducky team opts to go for here. Saving their jungle pick for their 5th pick, though. This could be very spicy, very interesting. What does RDT answer with ADC and mid lane still missing?
It looks like we're going to see the Kai'Sa. Very well-rounded champion. There's not a lot that she can't do, and I think this is going to be very good for RDT. With having such a heavy front line, you're going to want an ADC that's going to be able to take care of themselves, because you won't always have that peel around for you. I think Kai'Sa's a very good synergizing pick with those 3 champions that they have thus far.
Absolutely. Now, in the late game, Senna does outrange Kai'Sa, but in a game where we've been seeing both teams play very strong front to back and seeing the Vladimir get locked in, now that was a little bit expected.
Yeah.
But with this Kai'Sa pick, I mean, it's going to be very risky. You know, you got a lot of long range from Senna and Vel'Koz, and there's a Poppy too.
Is that going to be a Shogath jungle, or is that going to be a Poppy jungle?
I think we're going to see a Poppy jungle. Regardless of what we see, we're going to see Mailbox play a tank jungler. This is not something that we have seen at all throughout AVG. He traditionally only plays the carry style junglers, and while they have kind of phased out of the meta, we're seeing him possibly adapt here and be ready for this. I mean, all the stops are out now. You got to pull out a win. It's now or nothing.
Absolutely. And even though Mailbox Angels needs to get 2 more wins to win this, they still have to do everything in their power to make sure they win this game right here, or else it'll be over.
Alrighty, and looking like we're about to jump into the live draft here. So we'll be able to get all these teams locked in here, be able to see where these picks are going. In the meantime, who do you think has the edge in the draft?
I think RDT does in this draft. And the reason I say this is with how Mailbox's Angels are, the tanks that they do have, while they do have catch and they do have initiations, not a lot of these people on their team are going to just, blast themselves straight into the back line. They're going to have to meet up with RDT head to head when they're fighting in this in these team fights, and Kaiser and Vladimir are gonna have kind of free reign. I need to see Vel'Koz get a very good lead, so he's going to be able to get through these tanks very well. And maybe Mailbox Angels, instead of actually just going face to face with them, they might have to play more of a kite game or play front to back without and just kind of focus on the peel aspect of this.
Absolutely. And now to answer the question we've all been wondering, it will be the Poppy in the jungle. Mailbox pulling it out, taking it from Sunny. I like this. I think Sunny is an exceptionally good Cho'Gath player. I personally have laned against Sunny many times when he gets the Cho'Gath, and it is a freaking nightmare to have to go against, if I'm being honest. Very, very good at wave controlling and does a ridiculous amount of damage, very hard to kill, and puts a lot of split pressure. So, I mean, it's going to be on half a night here. Now, while Poppy is the signature top pick for Zuko, aka, Sunny Bop, Cho'Gath is a extremely strong top laner in the meta right now and will punish every mistake that you make.
Mm-hmm. And we were talking about this in the draft from Game 3. Mailboxes, they've been doing a really good job at pulling out these weird picks, having these, I wouldn't necessarily call it cheese, but these different strategies, something that we're not necessarily used to seeing. And having Mailbox on that Poppy, that's something very different that we don't normally see come out of Mailbox's Angels.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at the drafts now, we're seeing another very comfortable draft from the side of Rubber Ducky team. The only not so comfortable pick I would say would be the Leona. It's, Shinoli's third best, but when you take away his first and the second, I mean, what do you expect? Leona is a very strong champion, though, in the current meta in bot lane, has extremely good synergy. Kai'Sa Leona is arguably one of the strongest bot lanes in the game right now. So I am very excited to see can one above pop off again. Are we going to see Rune Tato get caught out more? Are we going to see Mailbox show us why tank junglers aren't in his repertoire, or are we going to see him pop off on it and show why he should have had it all the time? We will be back in a short little while as we load into the game, and when we get back, we will show you guys the 4th game in this series. Same.
3.
Alrighty, and looking like we are going to have to start off with a little bit of a pause. Welcome, everybody. We are back in Game 4 of the series right now. Rubber Ducky team is up 2-1. One more game to close it out. Can they do it, or are we going to see Mailbox Angels fight back and push this to a Game 5? Alrighty, so while we were at the break, we were talking a little bit about who we thought had the edge. Henry, who did you think had the edge in this game based off the draft?
Based off the draft, I think RDT has the more easily to execute team here. I feel like it's leaning more into their favor, but there's definitely a lot of good things from Mailbox's Angels that are going to allow them to control these fights, but the execution is going to be a little bit more difficult. We saw some really weird engages last fight, some kind of like awkward fights. Hopefully, Mailbox Angels is able to turn this one around and totally reset and bring this win home so we can go to Game 5.
Yeah, I think personally I am going to have to give the edge to Rubber Ducky team. I mean, they came out swinging in that first game. And in the second game here, I mean, the second game of the day, rather, we're seeing a lot of comfort picks on the side of Rubber Ducky team. And if you look at Mailbox Angels, I mean, we're seeing the Poppy pick in the jungle. We have no idea if this is going to be, the end-all be-all pop-off pick. And we're also seeing Rune Tato push very deep on the champion pool, being pushed onto the Nautilus. So hopefully we can see Mailbox Angels pop back. Now, in Game 3, we did see some surprise picks come from Rubber Ducky team, and it ended up pulling out the win. So, hey, maybe these are the pocket picks they need to strike back.
Yeah. I would also like to make mention. I feel like Mailbox's Angels with their team comp, they're gonna have to play front to back here because they have the Senna, because they have the Vel'Koz, and that's the majority of their damage. They can't leave those guys hanging. They're gonna have to stay in between them and the enemy Mailbox Angels team. They have to be able to protect that Vel'Koz, protect that Senna, and it's going to be a lot of just playing directly around these guys instead of just fully engaging onto their team.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be very important for the side of Mailbox and Angels to keep an eye on where this Vladimir is. Edge the out. We have seen him in the semifinals against MBBC, had a lot of very creative gank paths with the Vladimir in team fights, hitting very powerful flanks, getting in and doing a lot of damage. And with this Kaisa pick, I mean, you got to be very careful. If you're a backliner, you get hit by a W or any kind of CC, you get a mark on you, Kaisa can fly right in and assassinate you very, very quickly. So positioning is going to be key, and tracking where these two are will be massive.
Okay, the R's are coming back into chat. We are getting back into Game 4. If you guys are just joining us, this is Game 4 of the finals of Avid Gaming League. Here we have Mailbox's Angels versus the Rubber Ducky team. If Rubber Ducky team takes this win, they win it all. Their name goes down in history. Mailbox's Angels needs to win the next 2 games if they want to continue this legacy.
Absolutely. And just to add on to that a little bit, Rubber Ducky team is the #1 seed. They are favored to win. Mailbox Angel, the #2 seed. On the other side of the bracket, both teams managing to hold true to those seedings and bring it here into the finals. So looking like we are seeing just another standard 5-point start. Cho'Gath a little bit cheeky here in the top side brush that you would normally expect, the other side's top laner Half a Night to either be positioned around or close to. And we do see the same wards as Game 1, or Game 1 of the day, rather. Warding the pixel brush in the river, as well as the entrance to the raptor camps. So looking like we won't see any kind of crazy invades here, just same kind of setup. And looking like junglers possibly going to be starting. Poppy will be starting on this red buff, it looks like. Cho'Gath going to be given a leash here. Meanwhile, though, on the other side, Aided's opting to start on the blue buff this time. So switching it up. Trying to keep them on their feet here. And looking like... are they going to show early here? That's the big question. And looking like they are showing early in the bottom lane here. So, kind of giving an early tell as to where both sides are going. So
well, the dead giveaway will just be the top laners coming in at exact same time. Also, myself as a jungler, when I'm looking to see where an enemy starts, even if they do a delayed entrance into lane, you look and see how much mana the champions have. If they're missing anything, they use an ability of giving the leash.
Absolutely, and Nautilus just giving a little bit of poke on Leona, smack him with the anchor, hit him with the root. Does end up actually popping Aftershock, so it won't have that for the level 2 fight. Hits another brute here on the Leona, so gonna have to be a little bit careful and understand that. But the early level 2, they don't end up hitting the E with the Leona. Shinoli dropping the ball there, so very unfortunate.
Just a little bit to the side there.
Yeah, so very good sidestep from Nikolai, understanding that they were going to hit the level 2 first and, you know, being ready for it. Meanwhile, though, on this top side, the map, the early push is in the favor of the Cho'Gath. And looking like both junglers now on the same side of the map, both of them on the bottom side of the map right now. Poppy clearing wolves, Mundo on the red.
Quite a bit of a faster clear here with the Mundo. That's going to be very important here in the next couple of minutes to set the pace for the first gank or the first counter gank. Evil Mailbox is staying a little bit healthier, and that's just kind of normal for the Mundo first clear going through. But I think he'll be able to pull his HP back up here very shortly with that red buff coming in. And he's going down to the bot side.
Yeah, absolutely. The most important part of this matchup here is gonna be this early Scuttle Crab, and looking like we're gonna see Aided actually give this one up. We'll not try to contest it despite the slightly faster clear. Mailbox does opt to skip Grom to go straight to it. Does also get the early rotation from bot mid to secure it, so doesn't have that issue there. And looking like he's immediately going to take this top scuttle. Gonna try to double scuttle.
Straight for the double scuttle.
Yeah, I do like this play. However, in the bottom lane, Leona does hit the E, going in onto him. However, Nautilus on the counter engage, trying to hit this Leona, getting dropped very low.
Goes down.
Forced to flash out. Kaisa going in for the kill. First split over to Leona. They're going in. Senna has to use the cleanse and use flash to try to get out, and we'll be able to get out of here, but we're already seeing it again. They get the kill, and the flash stun from Leona. Shinoli. Oh my goodness, absolutely insane. And here we are on the top side of the map, see another gank, and they will be able to get out of this one. Oh my goodness, Shinoli, you madman. Hits a beautiful flash stun onto Nikolai, not respecting the possible re-engage, and gets punished for it. And that's first blood on Leona, and this follow-up kill onto Kaisa. We're seeing this bot lane already, without jungle help, giving themselves an early lead. And that is exactly what you need if you're Rubber Ducky team.
And while that was going on in the bot lane, we had Poppy and Cho'Gath coming through the river and gank the Ornn. He was able to get out of that just fine, just had to blow his splash.
Absolutely, so we'll have to be a little bit careful in this top side now. Is flashless, and looking like we are seeing some ping, looking like they are going to try to go for a regank up here, but Wave is not in the best position as it is shoving. I would like to see Cho'Gath maybe opt to try to, shove this Wave in and force it in, unless Ornn opts to shove it back into him. So could possibly see something like that. Now, we will know if a gank's going to happen based off if Poppy starts pathing top or continues to go to bot side after Raptors. Meanwhile, though, Mundo is on bottom side of the map clearing his own Krugs. No camp left to clear, so we're going to see Mundo either get active or go for a reset, and looking like he will opt to reset here. Currently up about 4 CS on the Poppy.
I think it's also very interesting last game, even though we saw bot lane going in RDT's favor, Nikolai was able to keep up in the CS. In fact, he was actually ahead in CS a little bit. But here he's kind of breaking even. This wave still has yet to fully crash into one above. So not quite the same bot lane we saw last game. It's more in RDT's favor at this point.
Absolutely. Now, Zuko needs to be very careful here. It's looking like he's trying to set up, possibly going for a solo kill here if he can hit something, but he's going to get ganked. Ornn does hit level 6, calling in the horn. Zuko forced to flash into the brush, but Mundo's already healed, not respecting the possibility of him being topside, but hits a beautiful kill and will escape. Mundo opting not to try to use flash. I believe he definitely could have still ran him down if he went for like a flash cleaver play, since he did bail out into the alcove. And because of that, we're seeing Mailbox, oddly enough, going for a dragon in the early game, going for first dragon. Very uncharacteristic of him. I never see Mailbox put any priority on dragons, but punishing the failed gank in topside.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mailbox is a little notorious for being a topside jungler. So with him pulling out the Poppy, and him going for this first dragon, immediately punishing it as soon as Mundo shows himself in the top side, he's really adapted this game, and he's trying to switch it up on him.
Yeah, absolutely. An important thing to note in the ADC difference right now, One Above is currently up about 16 CS on Nikolai. Now, Nikolai is back in lane and will start to close that gap a little bit, but like you mentioned, game one, he was able, or game one of the day rather, he was able to keep up in CS. This game right now, because of the early death, is falling behind a little bit. And on the top side here, Cho'Gath's taking a lot of damage trying to hold this wave outside of tower, but should be fine with each minion he kills, does get HP back. Ornn actually could possibly look to take a winning trade here into him, especially in Mundo top side. There's no real risk of getting ganked unless he passes towards bottom side, so doing a very good job keeping the pressure up.
Yeah, absolutely. Here in the mid lane, we haven't seen too much go down so far. I think it's just been a lot of these guys shoving into each other, farming, keeping the vision around the side lanes. This game's going a lot slower. These guys, both teams seem to be pumping the brakes a little bit and playing it a little bit different.
Oh, we're about to see a gank on the top side.
The top lane. Oh, that was a very nice W flash. Is it going to be enough? Cho'Gath does have his ultimate. He's going to be able to get the feast here.
Cho'Gath's going to possibly be able to get this kill. Opts him not to use it. Gives the kill over to Poppy, so maybe putting more value on using your feast on maybe a Rift Herald, or maybe didn't have the mana for it. I do believe it is a 100 mana cost, and possibly just wasn't quite in range to use it there. So one important thing to note about that top lane play there is Ornn's flash is now back up. Cho'Gath has no flash, but if you look at the teleports, Cho'Gath has TP advantage. So, you know, coming up for this next dragon, or even looking for a bot lane play, Cho'Gath has the advantage after that.
Yep, that's very true. I mean, we're still quite a bit of the ways, depending on how fast they start up that dragon. Ornn could be ready for it. They're going to need to do it right away, but in order for that to happen, we're going to need to get a little bit of priority back in the bot lane, or at least some kind of lead going in the mid lane so they can actually just blindly go up and do that.
Absolutely, and Vladimir, huge chunk of damage, getting the empowered Q. Now, however, Leona hitting the ultimate on a Nautilus. Nautilus getting caught out. We're seeing a repeat from the first game of the day, but does end up actually being able to get out this time. Forced to latch on to the tower and just barely getting out of there. A lot was burned trying to go for that kill. Rumtato ended up actually trading his flash for Ignite and the ultimate of Leona and Kai'Sa. So, important thing to know. Oh, Flash is coming out mid lane though. Look at that, they're trying to go for the solo kill. LP Bandito, very good responsive flash to actually get out of that possible solo death there. Had it landed. Oh, Ornn's calling in the horn. He's going for the solo kill on Cho'Gath, and he misses the horn. Half a Knight, uncharacteristically missing the ultimate. Nothing interrupted him. He just whiffed it. So Zuko getting out a little bit lucky there, him not being able to hit that.
Oh, and I'm seeing some on-the-way pings happening in the bot lane. We had Aided coming in from the back. Looks like they're going to want to make a lane gank happen. Was he spotted there? Doesn't look like he was. There was a pink ward in that bush.
Yeah, are they savvy of the possible gank here in the bottom lane? Playing a
Leona
very
has
slow.
up here in 10 seconds, though.
And Leona actually hits the engage onto Senna. Senna forced to use cleanse, forced to use flash. Nautilus, however, has no flash. Tries to hook onto the wall, but hooks it short instead of long, and ends up not bringing in enough distance to try to get out, and ends up actually going down there. So Nautilus starting the game 0-2.
Oh, they're not going to. They decided not to stay there for that. Leona's ultimate just came up. They could have potentially looked for a dive, but it's better to just take the win and reset.
Yeah, I mean, Senna had no flash, Senna had no cleanse, but I don't think they're savvy of where Poppy is. If Poppy was on the bottom side, it would have been an int play, but Poppy is top side. And so, I mean, Mundo had flash, you know, you had sums up on Kai'Sa. I definitely think you could have gone for it, especially knowing that Nikolai had just burned basically everything to try to get out of the initial gank alive.
Right. But at the same time, not knowing where Poppy is, they gave the proper respect there.
Absolutely. Not wanting to show any kind of disrespect to Mailbox or Mailbox's Angels for that fact.
Here we go. We see Mailbox's Angels. They're starting to set up for this dragon. They need to take advantage of it really soon when it spawns, since Ornn does not have the TP.
Absolutely, and looking like Cho'Gath is shoving this in. Does have TP advantage and actually does have the ultimate coming off cooldown. looking like they are going to go for the reset and maybe an immediate teleport in. Ornn, teleport will be up in probably something like 30 seconds here. Oh, and we're seeing the engage go in. Leona hits the ultimate onto Vel'Koz. Vel'Koz gets blown up. Vel'Koz is dead. Nautilus is getting caught out here now, trying to get out of this alive. And unfortunately, on the back end of this fight, Cho'Gath is chasing down Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa and Mundo are trying to 2v1 fight this Cho'Gath. This Cho'Gath that's huge. Cho'Gath's going in, trying to get the solo kill. Gets the solo kill on the Kai'Sa. Meanwhile, the other end of the fight, barely being able to get out with just Nautilus dying. And Mundo does end up actually getting the kill onto Cho'Gath there. So very impressive, and looking like they're not done. They're trying to keep going in here. Oh, just out of range. Leona has no more to try to hit anything, but does end up using the stun onto Poppy. Poppy might be dead here.
Wait, teleport coming in here from Bandito. He's going to look for something, try to redeem this for his team, but it looks like he's just a little bit too late here.
Absolutely, and just not quite able to do anything, but should be able to at least deny the dragon play. Health bars are very low, and people have had enough time to respawn, but looking like they don't care. They're just going to go straight for it right now, maybe. And looking like the call was to call it off. Ornn did take a little bit of aggro, maybe hit it once, but does just end up clearing the control ward. And, I mean, if you're Mailbox Angels, you could arguably look to just start this thing up right now. You know that they're forced to reset.
Mailbox is coming back down. They really do not want to give this up, but you know they might have to here. Well,
yeah,
it looks like they're just gonna let it go.
Yeah, and one important thing to note: Zuko did a very good job doing some damage control there. Very good zoning, keeping Kai'Sa and Mundo out of the rest of the fight, and it ends up actually allowing Nikolai the chance to be able to get out of there. And they only ended up losing Vel'Koz on the initial getting caught out, and then Nautilus on the chase. So very good job there. Ends up getting the kill onto Kai'Sa, getting the chomp stack, but does end up falling to Mundo. So now early setup right now on the side of Rubber Ducky team. They got their resets and they're just going straight for it. And I mean, nobody's here to try to stop this thing. This is just going to be a free dragon for Rubber Ducky team. We're already seeing a 2,000 gold lead.
We have Vladimir TPing in the top lane, making sure he saves this tower so they don't really get anything in response for this.
Yeah, Vlad actually has to be pretty careful. Poppy is on this topside jungle, and they could possibly look to try to set up some sort of dive here. Meanwhile, though, Ornn is covering mid lane against Vel'Koz. Got to be very careful there, because Vel'Koz can blow you up if you get caught out. Looking like blue buff will be stolen. Poppy does completing the successful invade, getting the camps. No real contest from Mundo as he is on his own.
Oh, and they're going to come up here and they're going to try to find this Vladimir. Oh, but he's going to get spotted out because of the pink ward he just put down. Good intuition.
Yeah, good pink ward. However, on the bottom side of the map, Leona uses the ultimate, doesn't hit, but does apply the slow, and Sema is forced to use Cleanse to stop the stun from Leona. A little bit questionable. I don't think you were really in a dangerous position. I think you could have let the timer go down. However, Mundo is here. They're going to go for the dive.
Mundo has a lot of armor. He can tank this.
Nautilus sacrificing himself to allow Senna to escape. Senna, unfortunately, going to have to leave that man behind. And Nautilus, understanding that your life is more important than mine, and ends up going down. We are seeing a very rough series from Rune Tato, now currently 0-4 in this game. Alrighty, top side of the map though, Vladimir is getting dangerously low. Cho'Gath doesn't have ultimate, but I mean, it is a Cho'Gath, is a very low cooldown. Poppy is getting the big flash stun, and they get the kill. Poppy, oh my goodness, very well done. However, Senna on the bottom side of the map is now getting caught. Mundo's running him down. And what are you doing, Nick? Getting caught out. You can't be that far pushed up, especially when you know Mundo was still on the bottom side of the map. You just lost your tower, so you know, not playing with enough respect there, and gets punished for it. So they get a kill on the top side of the map, but get punished on the bottom side.
That's very good on Mailbox's part, not letting Vladimir have the opportunity to pool. Immediately went for it, followed by the silence. Just the CC chain, Vladimir doesn't have a lot of options there. He's only allowed to die.
Absolutely, and this Ornn is doing a very good job holding his own against Vel'Koz right now. So, I mean, if you look at the CS difference right now, Ornn is down roughly 20 CS to Cho'Gath. This is a very similar story to what we did see in Game 1. You know, not quite as efficient at CSing as Zuko. So, you know, Sunnybop is a very good laning top laner, very good at being efficient in getting CS. So, you know, not super unexpected. I think all in all, when you play tanks, you know, getting a lot of gold isn't what you're trying to do. It's making sure that you're there for all that XP and you're not getting behind or, you know, dying to ganks. So I think regardless, Half and I is doing a very good job this series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, and seeing now, Vel'Koz hits a big Q onto Kaisa, but not really able to follow it up with anything. And Kaisa will be able to get out of there. However, Senna is actually in dangerous position here. Vladimir's going for the all-in, going for the solo kill. Nikolai, you're too far up, my man. And he is going to get punished, and he is getting dropped very low. And there's the flash. He a little excessive, probably didn't need it, but felt he needed it. It gets the kill onto Senna. And very well done by Edge the Owl, being patient, sitting in that bush, knowing he would continue to walk up.
Oh, and RDT's up here. They're going to collapse here on the Cho'Gath.
Yeah, looking like they're looking for it. However, Cho'Gath is savvy to the... He's savvy to the play. They did walk over a ward in the brush. However, Nautilus is getting caught out here. First to flash over wall. Mundo did pop the ultimate, though, so his team fighting power is actually quite weak without the ultimate. However, he is 5-0. He is insanely strong right now. Looking like they are going to try to start up this Rift Herald. Orin is doing a great job zoning out. Cho'Gath is sitting in the bush, though, and looking like they are possibly waiting for some backup to come up. Maybe they're going to try to force this fight. However, in the mid lane, Vel'Koz is going for the solo kill. Doesn't quite have enough damage to kill Leona, and ends up actually getting caught out himself. One above gets the kill on LP Bandito, and this should just be a free Rift Herald now. No, it is at 1 stack of patience meter, so could possibly reset, and looks like that was the case. So quite unfortunate. However, Nick is getting solo killed again. Nick, what are you doing? Oh my goodness, that is not what you want to see. Nick having a very rough series right now, getting absolutely punished. And I mean, this. And
RDT is going to go straight for the dragon after that play. I mean, it's about to come up. They're going to head straight there. Use that Rift Herald either to take a tower or get that dragon. Maybe even both.
Yeah, and looking like this series is very doomed right now for Mailbox's Angels. I mean, they're not out yet, but they are not in the position that they want to be, especially with the third dragon coming up right now, down 12-3 in kills, tower for a tower, but I mean, they're down 4,000 gold at 19 minutes in the game, and that is not the situation you want to be in. Leona doing a good job.
Well, let's see if they're going to go for the stop here. Cho'Gath is a very big boy.
Here they go. They're going in. Nautilus going in. On the Kaisa does a lot of CC. Big pull, though, from Vladimir. They're going in. Nautilus going to drop here, and looking like they do end up dropping the Poppy as well. Oh, my goodness. They are just going ham right now. Cho'Gath, big boy, trying to get out of this alive. Only person dead right now on the side of Rubber Ducky team is Kaisa. Cho'Gath goes for the Flash E, and he gets the kill onto Leona. Very well done from Zuko there, and they actually pushed them off the dragon.
That's pretty big. Unfortunately, Senna wasn't there at just the right time for that engage. Also, the Vel'Koz ultimate didn't come up until the end of that fight.
Yeah, and a little bit of a questionable play here. You've seen two teleports
coming right back.
Yeah, Cho'Gath is coming right back, though. He is quite low already. It's already dropped about half HP. Vladimir's zoning out the Vel'Koz, though. Cho'Gath trying to be a big boy, trying to do it on his own right now, trying to hold him off, but doesn't have ultimate to try to secure any kills here, and does end up actually getting dropped, but does a very good job of doing just enough damage to push them off of this dragon. And on the other side, Mailbox Angels looking like they are actually going to try to go in here. Mundo was forced to drop the Rift Herald in the mid lane, and we see Orin get picked off. And that's a shutdown onto the Senna. That's exactly what you need. Meanwhile, though, Poppy is going in onto Kaisa. Kaisa does, however, be able to kite this out as Leona is there to help peel it back. And Nautilus goes down. Poppy is down. Double kill onto Kaisa. One above is popping off. Oh my goodness, Shinoli doing an amazing job peeling. Kaisa was caught out there, but, I mean, hey, what can you do when you got Shinoli on your team? I mean, anything's possible right now. You got the god of peeling.
Did I miss that? Did he try putting down the Herald and it got interrupted?
I don't know. I think... I mean, there's a possibility there, but I believe he got it down, and I believe it might have just been killed before it could have charged. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Okay.
But, I mean, on to the next thing, though. Dragon was taken, and it is currently 2-1 Dragons, and we're seeing a 5,000 gold lead, or 5,000 gold lead on the side of Rubber Ducky team. They are in the driver's seat. We have a 5-0 Mundo and a 6-2 Kaisa, and not to forget, this Vladimir got very fed off of killing Nikolai several times in the bottom lane, punishing him for being overextended.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like Bandito picking up the Banshee Veil first to help him not get caught. He's going to have a little bit of the resistance to a lot of the magic damage coming from their team. But, I mean, with how this game's going, RDT is definitely making it work. And it's not even necessarily that Mailbox's Angels outscales here. But they need to be able to close this gold a little bit and then start playing these team fights to their strengths.
Absolutely, and Vladimir goes in for a huge chunk of damage. Oh my god. Vladimir uses the rocket belt and the Q and just takes half of Nikolai's health bar. However, though, Nautilus is getting caught out. What are you doing? Uses a flash and doesn't get over the wall. Flash fail and ends up going down. This is an 0-7 Nautilus.
We got the Cho'Gath chasing down the Ornn here. He wants it.
However, in the mid lane, though, Leona, Shinoli getting the CC chain, setting up Kaisa to just fly in and get the kill. Poppy now trying to do what she can, trying to get out of this alive, getting chased. Meanwhile, though, Cho'Gath is running down this Ornn. Cho'Gath's going to get the solo kill, and yes, he does. And this should be a mid tower right now with all of the fighting going on in this mid lane. However, Vel'Koz using the ultimate doesn't end up actually doing a whole lot of damage with it, though, and cannot clear the wave in time, and tower does go down. Vladimir, however, is going in. Oh my goodness, Shinoli, you are just insane with this. Dude, I tell you what, Rubber Ducky team without Shinoli, they don't make it to the finals. Shinoli is playing out of his mind this series.
And just even from the games we saw last week, going into this week as well, at every single game, Shinoli has been performing like a monster.
Absolutely, Nautilus just out of range on the hook. However, I got a feeling if he hit that hook, it probably would have been a 0-8 gray screen here. So, probably a good thing you didn't hit that there. Maybe could have led with an ultimate if you had it up or were in range. But look like we are going to see some resets coming out now. And it is now a 6,000 gold lead. Another 1,000 gold in the bank in their favor. Up 21 kills to 7, 2 towers to 1. And this mid tower is, I mean, you could blow on this thing and it's going to fall over.
And we can see one above on Kaisa just completed 3 items. Nikolai, he's got 1 item and he's doing he's getting a little bit of a garage sale build going on here. He's definitely struggling to stay relevant here, and it seems like he's trying to pick up a couple pieces just to give him little boosts, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, AVG or Rubber Ducky team needs to start selling some Shinoli jerseys. Those things would sell like hotcakes, and I would be buying one myself. I think that right now, the biggest factor in this game, it's not an ADC gap, it's not a mid gap, not even a jungle gap. It's a support gap all the way through. And right now, Shinoli is carrying this team to victory. Alrighty, and looking like we are seeing a little bit more fighting up here on the top side. Now, Vel'Koz has been matching Ornn every step of the way since the mid game. You know, Ornn not really being matched with Cho'Gath for a while. Last time it happened, Cho'Gath ran him down, so I would like to see Cho'Gath be a little bit more, you know, trying to eye this Ornn. Kind of has his number right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the Cho'Gath. He's up to 9 stacks at the moment.
Oh my goodness, what a chonky boy. I mean, look, if anybody's going to be able to save this game right now, it's going to have to be this Cho'Gath. He is he's the last breath of life in Mailbox's Angels. He's their playoff chances. He's their finals chances. So I would really love to see Zuko be able to pop off here, but they gotta really enable him and play around him and stop getting picked off at the weirdest of times. Now, looking like we are seeing Dragon will be up in less than a minute. Rubber Ducky team already well ahead of the curve, already set up for this thing, already got the vision control in this river. And like we are seeing everybody rotating too here. Cho'Gath leading the way.
We do see Vladimir over here in this flanking position if Mailbox Angels decide to go forward.
Yeah, they don't have any vision in this brush.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like they're like pseudo giving priority in this river, trying to bait him in for a fight. Leona is looking for the possible engage, but they have no vision in that brush. If they can get some vision in it, it might be able to set up a perfect engage. And Leona getting chunked a little bit by the Vel'Koz.
Oh, Cho'Gath taking a little bit of damage.
Horn's calling in the horn.
There it
Leona's
is. There's the Vladimir gang all the way to the back line.
Cho'Gath has just dropped very low, but Vladimir getting the pick again onto Nikolai. One above, just running through the rest of the team, though. doing a very good job of peeling in for himself and just absolutely popping off in this fight. When you get this man this fed, he will carry your team. Shinoli and One Above, I'm saying it now, and I probably don't need to say it. They're the best bot lane right now in AVG, no contest. These two are playing absolutely insane, and they feed off each other extremely well. You're seeing it here. Shinoli sets up the plays, and One Above will carry.
You can't discredit the rest of the team. Edge of Owl was waiting in the flanking position. The moment that trigger was fired, Edge of Owl flashes over the wall and kills Nikolai and forces Bandito to the fight. He went for the 1v2 onto the back line. And like I said earlier, the way this team is going to have to work is they have to play front to back. And Vladimir was able to get back to the back line, and no one could help these two carries.
Absolutely. Cho'Gath was a little bit too greedy at the start of the fight and was, I understand you got a front line, but was in a very dangerous position where if you get collapsed on, it's forcing a fight. There's no way to get out. And if you don't know where Vladimir, you ideally don't want to be stepping up that far because, like we saw, Vladimir did get onto the backline, did end up getting the kill onto Nikolai and basically making him irrelevant this game. I mean, Nikolai is 1-7. It's very uncharacteristic from him. We normally don't see him have this many deaths, but Edge the Owl's got his number.
We have One Above just completed the 4th item. Nikolai has completed 2.
Absolutely, and I mean,
we are going to see Vladimir backing here pretty soon. I think he's going to go for a death cap.
Absolutely. Now, question. What do you do if your Mailbox is Angels to try to get back into this? But hold up on that question, though. Poppy possibly getting caught out here and looking like they will be able to get out. So, anyways, what does Mailbox Angels need to do to get back into this game?
Well, they definitely need to have a wider vision control around the areas that they're in. They know that Vladimir is going to look for that gank, and they can't risk the chances that Leona sneaks up on a carry and lands one of those ultimates. They need to stay together, but they need to allow their front line to keep vision controls on the side while they push forward as a unit, not allow someone to sneak up on the side of that. On top of that, they have to protect the Senna and the Vel'Koz. Even though they're having a hard time, they have to protect that. That needs to be their biggest priority.
Absolutely.
They cannot let Vladimir do the exact same thing he just did. The only chance that they have for killing Ornn, Leona, and Mundo is going to be those two. The rest of these three, Runeato, Mailbox, and Zuko, they're not going to take down 3 tanks.
Yeah, I mean, this Mundo has been 5-0 for the longest time and just been adding more and more assists. And if you look at the itemization, still, again, nobody has health cut to try to deal with this Mundo. Nobody has health cut to deal with this Vladimir. So, I mean, you're seeing them go for the items that they feel is necessary, but they don't have the proper tech to even deal with the Fed members of Rubber Ducky team.
Yeah.
Now, looking like they are trying to posture on this Baron. I think Rubber Ducky team, what they're trying to do right now is they don't want to try to force or risk any kind of 50-50 situation, because Cho'Gath does have teleport, and you can never outsmite a Cho'Gath. So I think they're trying to force a pick here, or catch somebody out, and try to win off that. And I think right now the next fight determines the outcome of the rest of this game. At least for Mailbox Angels, if they lose the next fight, it is GG.
Regardless, even if RDT isn't even able to end the game after the next fight, it's going to skyrocket that gold lead so far to a point where it's probably not going to be able to come back from. And it's looking pretty rough now. I mean, we're coming up on 9K gold lead here.
Yeah, gold lead is just growing by the minute now. There has been a bit of a calm in the storm here. We have had a little bit of a break here, but I got a feeling like, this ice is about to break any minute right now as they're pinging. They want to go for this. Kaisa does end up hitting the W onto Poppy, but Poppy will be able to get out. Vladimir does have empowered Q, though, and ends up not doing a whole lot of damage. Poppy is very tanky. We'll be able to get out of this. Vel'Koz is nowhere near this fight right now, though.
No, he is not.
Alrighty, I'm looking at it right now.
Cho'Gath did not spot this guy out.
Cho'Gath gets spotted out. trying to do what he can, but he is not in a great position for this fight, and he is getting blown up. He is getting absolutely destroyed. Leona hits a big ultimate, and One Above gets the kill, absolutely burning down Cho'Gath, and they're going in on Poppy right now. Ornn hits the horn onto Poppy. Poppy forced to flash over, and Kaisa with a beautiful Q, and Leona going in, securing the CC, using the flash to make sure that Poppy cannot get out of there, and they end up getting the kill on a jungler, and that is all of the objective pressure gone from Mailbox's Angel. There's no possibility for them to steal now.
Instead of RDT just choosing to push, they're like, no, you know what? We'll just take the Ocean Soul.
Absolutely. Now, we do see this Ocean Soul. This is going to be absolutely huge for the side of Rubber Ducky team. This should be the final nail in the coffin. Now
those are not the champions that you want Ocean Soul on.
Yeah, an Ocean Soul on a Mundo. Good luck trying to take that man down. No matter what you do, he can walk away for 5 seconds and come back, and he's back to full HP, and it'll as if nothing ever happened to begin with. Now, looking like they are throwing some pings, looking like they are just going to go straight over to that Baron right now. This Mundo is massive right now. Has a 34 CS gold lead on the Poppy right now. 2-level lead. Cho'Gath is level 16 though, does have ultimate up, so they do have to be very cautious of where this Cho'Gath is before they try to start any kind of objective.
And I'd be curious to see if Mailbox's Angels, if they decide to make their last stand here,
and it gets the stun,
or if they're going to give it up and maybe just try to do it underneath one of their Nexus towers.
Yeah, so I mean, especially with an Ocean Soul now, you gotta think somebody has to get grievous wounds, but nobody has it. And
Rubber Ducky
team,
so quickly.
They are just burning this thing down. You gotta be very careful. But the huge knockaway! And blue team still ends up securing it. Poppy doesn't end up hitting the smite, and looking like the fight is not breaking out. Poppy's getting dropped very low. Vladimir's also dropped extremely low right now. Nautilus is gonna be the first one to go down. Kaisa gets the kill on a Nautilus, and Cho'Gath ends up eating the Vladimir. And right now, this Kaisa is popping off in these fights. Only 2-3 people left on the side of Mailbox Angel. Poppy trying to run away now. Senna is very low, gets absolutely nuked from that Q. Poppy trying to do what she can. Very, very low, and ends up actually getting killed. Kaisa gets the kill onto Nikolai. And right now, last man standing is LP Bandito trying to run away on this Vel'Koz, and looking like Rubber Ducky team is going for the end right now. Can they do it? They got 30 seconds on death timers. Runeato is spawning up though, and Kaisa is zoning.
Yeah, Kaisa does have GA here, so she's not worried. She's just stopping this guy from backing.
Very dangerous situation. One auto attack. That damage is just insane. And look at this. I mean, with the death timers being this long, nobody should be able to stop them. And ladies and gentlemen, your AVG Season 1 champions.
Oh, did we speak too soon?
Wait a minute. Everybody spawned up. Game hasn't ended just yet. Oh boy, here we go. Cho'Gath now trying to do what he can to peel away. Nexus tower is very low, and that will be all she wrote. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, your AVG Season 1 champions, Rubber Ducky team, from zero to hero. They are your #1 team. Congratulations.
What a fantastic series. These final games have been so back and forth. But coming into the second week here, for the last part of the series, RDT was playing very well both of these games.
Absolutely. I mean, they played out of their minds. Honestly, I've never seen that clean of play from them, and they have been known to play very, very well. But against a team like Mailbox's Angels, they just completely smurfed on them. It was not close in either game. The bot gap, the support gap was huge. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get some interviews underway. Let's go ahead and bring in Aided. Aided, my man, congratulations. AVG Season 1 champions. How does it feel?
Feels great. It feels like a culmination of a lot of hard work on our part. We've been scrimming a lot, practicing a lot, so it's really satisfying to take the trophy.
Very
Absolutely.
Nice.
So tell me, going in to this game here, this was the continuation. Okay, so coming into this, it was tied 1-1. Tell me, what did you guys do for prep to be prepared for the other games in the series?
Yeah, some prep we did. I spent some time prepping. It looked like they were targeting me on jungle a lot, so we spent some time practicing like my 4th and 5th picks, trying to iron that out a little bit. We spent a lot of time looking at early jungle stuff because in a lot of in the first 2 games, Mailbox kind of made a point to really try to put the clamps on me in jungle. So we were looking at how to set up vision and how to kind of work around that.
Yeah, for sure. We
Absolutely.
definitely noticed that in both games. It seemed like you knew exactly who you were playing against and what you needed to do. It's not too often throughout this league that we've seen Mailbox fall short of anything but Fed, but you guys really made him break even the whole time through.
Yeah, we're pretty satisfied with the result. We're a lot of respect to Mailbox. He's a great player, but the results is what we wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, so tell me now. I know it could be hard to remember the first 2 games, but if for the entire series, if you had to give one person on your team MVP, who would you give it to?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think it's a toss up probably, but between Edge the Owl and One Above. They both had some games where they really popped off. That Fizz game in the first half of the series really kind of cemented our morale. At least we kind of needed that to go up 1-1 before the end of the weekend. So we've been giving it to One Above the whole series. So I'll go with Edge the Owl.
Sure.
Alrighty, sounds good. And myself personally, I was very, very excited to see him bring out the Vladimir. Now, when you guys went against us, MBBC in semifinals, he kind of smurfed on us with that pick. So to see him pull it out here in Game 5 and put up another fantastic performance, I couldn't have said it better myself. So congratulations to that. So tell me, going into next season, are you guys going to be running it back? Are we going to see Rubber Ducky team go for a 2-peat?
I think there's desire on the team to try. It'll kind of have to come down to whether we fall underneath the point limit. I think we were right underneath of it for this season, and we might squeak a little over it for the coming season. So we'll have to see. But the team does have desire to play season 2 so far.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the victory. Congratulations on first place. Very well deserved. You guys played absolutely outstanding, and it really does look like you guys improved leaps and bounds from the first 2 games that we saw that 1 week. Looked like just what you guys needed to come out and show why you guys are the number 1 team. Minneapolis, any closing thoughts?
Throughout your entire experience here with AVG, you guys seem to have been on top of your game for the longest time. Do you feel like it kind of came naturally, or do you feel like it was only coming to these last couple of series, coming into the finals, that you guys really felt challenged?
I think at the start of AVG, this is this iteration of this team's like first 5-man tourney with pre-mades. So we definitely weren't very good at playing 5-man. It doesn't really play the same way as solo queue at all. There's a lot more coordination. There's a lot more of a chess match compared to solo queue. So I think we were pretty bad at it at the start of the season, to be frank. And that's probably the biggest area of improvement for us, is just kind of how to play the 5-man game.
Okay. Very cool. Well, congratulations on your win, man. I never even got to play against you, but it was nice meeting you and seeing you guys pull this off.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks to all of the organizers, too. This has been a really great tourney, and we really enjoyed it. So we appreciate everyone's, volunteer time to do this.
Absolutely. And from the organizers to you guys, thank you for putting on such a fantastic show. Congratulations on the win, and we hope to see more from you guys in the future. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see if we can possibly get an interview with Mailbox's Angels. And
there is the Mailbox himself.
Mailbox, tell me, it was a tough loss. Congratulations on making it to the finals and putting up a fantastic performance. Leaving it all out there. Tell me, did you guys expect the preparation from them coming into this game?
Okay. Look, man, I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't expect to fight SKTT1 in their prime. I thought this was an amateur league, bro.
Well, I mean, it's the finals. This is this was the legendary series, all the marbles, season 1. There was a lot on the line. I wouldn't be surprised for teams to pull out all the stops and get as sweaty as possible.
Look, Henry, we can't kid ourselves. SKT weren't the number 1 team until like 3-4 seasons in. All right, it is insane to put up that kind of level of performance in season 1 of AVG.
That's very true. Yeah.
Now, Mailbox, tell me, you pulled out the Poppy pick in game 2. That's a surprise pick. We've never seen you play a tank jungler in AVG. So tell me, what was the thought process behind that pick?
Poppy Jungle is not a tank jungler. It's a fucking assassin.
Tanky jungle, whatever.
It's an assassin, I promise you that much.
All right. Well, you did play it quite well. What was the thought process on the Poppy pick, though? We haven't seen you play it.
Well, no, it's kind of spicy. It was a spicy pick.
It was a spicy pick.
Absolutely. So, congratulations on making it to the finals, though. You guys played very well to make it this far. You guys did have a bit of a rough start early on in the season, and after a couple roster moves, you guys ended up actually turning it around and being the number 2 team coming in. So, regardless of the results, I mean, you can only be anything short but proud of your team. So, congratulations to you guys. Minneapolis, any closing thoughts?
Yeah. What was your guys' thought process going into the second week of the series? Because the last week you guys went 1-1, so you knew coming into this it really felt like a best of 3. Were you guys feeling really confident? How much preparation? How much work did you guys put into these last couple of games here in the series?
I mean, we put in work, but I mean, it could have been better. And we just had fun doing it, right?
Okay, it's really cool.
Not much. I mean, it's not much other than that. But I do have at least three excuses. I will at least name. Yes. First, the COVID shot. I promise you, RDT snuck into where I got the COVID shot, and it gave me like extra COVID. So like, my arms, my joints feel wiggly. They're not okay. I'm pretty sure it's that Owen guy. I bet you he was the one that snuck in. I saw one shifty dude there. Probably the Owen player. All Owen players are shifty, you know that.
True story.
2, my grandma's pet goldfish died like yesterday, and it kind of hit the family hard.
I'm so sorry for all of your losses that you've had today.
It's enough to make it.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to go and close it out there. The third excuse will have to be left a mystery. Congratulations on second place in AVG, and that is gonna do it for us here. Henry, thank you for joining me on the cast. What a crazy series we got to witness.
Yeah, I loved the way that this ended. It was definitely very appropriate, very entertaining games. Wouldn't have had it any other way.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to close it out for us here. Thank you to everybody who came out. Peak viewership today. Thank you so much for the support. It really showed in the final series. And we will be back in season 2.
See you later, guys.